All right. Let's get in here. And here we go. Good morning, everybody. Good day to everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's doing real good. Good morning. Good morning. All right. All right. Just to make sure everything is working here, and we will begin. All right. Good morning. We got, let me say hello to everybody, and then we'll begin. We got Omar. We got Gustavo. Good morning, Gustavo. Good morning, Omar. Kevin, Ivano, Darren. We got Ricky. We got Vernon, Dave, Robert, Jill. Good morning, Jill. It's been a while. Christopher from Hawaii. My goodness. Glenn, Wayne, Wade, Stapa. Hello, Stapa. Richard, Debbie, Nathan, Rosalind, Debbie, Don, David, Piet DeBrock, Ali, Armulfo, Jesse, Dr. Serena. Dr. Serena, I think yesterday we had 680 something people here. I think we beat our record yesterday. All thanks to you guys. Thank you so much. Robert, Jody, Anthony, Cindy, and Jay, Mark, Afshin, I can't pronounce the name. I apologize. There was a name here I could not pronounce. Let me continue. Got a lot of people here. Cam, good morning, Cam. Cam, I apologize yesterday. I was supposed to be in customer service live, and my assistant, Josiah, he double booked me. He booked me for a webinar with Graham, and so I couldn't do it. But I will be doing it at the next available opportunity, and I'm really looking forward to being in customer service live with you guys. And I'll post a link in just a few minutes. We got Patrick. We got Rice. We got Wayne. We got Joni, John, Penny. Hello there. 3 weeks until some of them will meet. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. Devin. We got Jack. We got Anthony, JB, Rochelle. Good morning. CJ, Martin, Deacon, Alexander. Good to see you. Good morning to you, Alexander. Good morning, Roddy, Randy, Blair, Ray, Richard from Puente Gorda, Henry, Jeff, Sweet Chin, Edgar, Terrence, Michael, Stephen, Tim. We got, I'm losing track here. Michael, Steve, Tim, Dave, a lot of people. Earnings results, F down 5%, ARM down, Qualcomm down, BMY down, Roblox down, and LLY up 7. Thank you for that, Sylvain. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you. Alan, Travis, Mark from Belgium. Ooh, look at that. Hey, Mark, welcome. Steve, yeah, Dr. Serena, we beat record yesterday. Andrew, Manuel, Robert. Good morning, Robert. How are you today? Lewis, Michael, Sherman, Kevin, Rachel, I'm losing track again. Darren. Ooh, look at that. TPR, Peloton, Hershey's, Roblox, Lily. Thank you for that. Darren. Samson, Kaya, Camille, Scott, Lawrence, Charlie, Clyde. Look at that. Mount Howard, Darren, Deanna. Thank you, Dr. Serena. Frank, Richard, John, HG. Good morning. War Dog is in the house. Yay. Kim, Delbert, Alexander. How are you, Alexander? You know, Alexander is the same guy, same person's name who writes this, the report that I read every day, right here. Alexander. It's not you, is it, Alexander? I don't think that's you, right? I'm just curious if that's you, because I mean, it's not that common of a name. But I noticed that Alexander is the guy that writes this. So I was just curious. The things that go through my mind in the morning. So yeah, welcome, Alexander. Good to see you here. We got a lot of people. Tony, Rich, Carlos, good morning, Carlos. Richard says TPR up 16%. Yeah, it is up pretty good. Tom, Peggy, Raj, Timothy, John, Robert, Walt, Kevin. No, different Alexander. Okay. Well, it's not that common of a name. So when I see the name here and then I saw your name, I just kind of put the two and two together. Anyway, no harm, no foul. All right. A few links. Um, Graham and I were live yesterday. It will be replayed at 11 a.m. today. If you guys want to check it out, it'll be really cool. And I just heard that Lance is going to be in customer service live today at 11 o'clock. Yeah. Yeah, right. That's why that's my grandfather's name, Alexander. You guys share exactly the same name, Alexander. And he was also Ukrainian. My people are here. I love it. It's great. There's the VIP room link. And last but not least, let me give you customer service live, and we are going to start. We're going to start right now. Let me give you the link. And remember, Lance is going to be on today at 11 o'clock. I'm just giving Lance a nice little plug because he does such a great job with that whole wrestling thing he does. I absolutely love that wrestling thing he does. It's very, very funny. All right. Good morning, Keong. Good morning. All right, so let's begin. Let's get into anything. You guys may be very surprised. Good morning, Eagle Beagle. Good to see you here. You guys may be very surprised by what I have to say to you today, or what my analysis is today. So far, the S&P is up 10 points, which is pretty solid in the morning. The NASDAQ 100, and I'm only concerned about the front month, it's pretty flat. I mean, it's not really doing much. And the Dow futures are pretty flat too. So we're not gonna gap up or down today. Now, gap ups or down give us opportunities to get in at a good price in the morning, but non-gaps actually make it easier for us to see what's really strong and what's not. Because when everything opens up evenly, you can kind of see pretty quickly what's outperforming the market or not, and that we don't have to wait half a day to get into a trade. And by the way, we've been just very quickly, I don't want to take much time. I'm just going to continue doing this. But if you guys have been taking those zero DTE day trades in the pit yesterday, just give me your feedback so I can tell Matt, and we because we're still making adjustments. It's not final yet. It's not going to be final for another month. But please let me know how you've been doing with the zero DTE trades. Okay, I'm very curious your experience. It means a lot to me. Thank you, Dr. Serena. So the market's going to open up pretty flat. Eduardo, pretty cold up there in Virginia, I imagine right now. How cold is it? About 30? It's going to be 80 here today. Good morning, Texas Kirk. Good morning, Peter. Good morning, Mike. So I'm looking for a fairly flat opening. Okay, fairly flat opening. We're going to have the jobless claims today, and as you guys know, this report has it's amazing, really. But I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think in the last 4 years, the highest number I've ever seen was 275,000, and that was like woo one time. This number has been near the low 200s for as long as I can remember. You know, people say the VIX is broken. I actually think this indicator is broken because I mean, as far back as I can remember, it's always around 200, 220, 210, 230, 240, 210, and it just keeps moving around there. But this number has not been anything to write home about for years now. For years. And please correct me if I'm wrong. I do it every day, every Thursday. It just doesn't seem like it's really moving very much. Don says, very good, very good. 3 winners yesterday. Yes, zero DTE. Price fills are key. Zero DTE are working, baby. Good morning. All right, good. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, we had 3 winners yesterday. We made money yesterday. And we had some good stock picks. So far, we've been happy about that. Earnings. After the close, you've got Amazon. Watch your consumer discretionary and tech stocks very closely. We got Roblox, Pins, Net, BMY. A lot of these have already came out, although the near-term NASDAQ futures are not really reacting negatively just yet. Mike is loving the zero DTE trades. Good. That's good feedback. I like that. We'll keep doing them in the pit till we launch it. So yeah, very flat. I'm not really seeing anything there. Bond market is now trading above the 50-day moving average. It's here right now. This is very positive for the overall market, especially interest rate sensitive stocks. Trump yesterday made a clarification. Well, not Trump, but his staff made a clarification. They're not looking to make a dent in the short term bond. They're looking to make a dent in the 10-year bond. That's what we're looking at, long bond, which actually makes a lot of sense. Because the long bond is what impacts your pocketbook, not the short bonds. The short bonds to a point, but interest rate for mortgages, credit card, that's all long bond, which is what we go through every day. And you don't really have to change policy to change the trajectory of the long bond. Long bond is driven by sentiment. And so far, I'll be honest with you, it's been working because look, we went up here. So I don't know if it's Trump or not. I really don't care. But I will tell you this, and this is the part you need to pay attention to. See this line right here? I drew this line for you a long time ago in a galaxy far away. So look what happens when we touch this line. Do you see where the line is? Here, let me. Do you see where price is, and you see where this line is, and do you see where we are right now in relationship to this line? Thanks, Bob. Do you guys see it? Oh, it's gonna be great when you guys are last 2 days in February. It's gonna be like 80 degrees. Thanks, Heather. Yeah, we don't have a position in Roblox right now, but I appreciate that. Three or four winners yesterday. It was doing quite well. We did really good yesterday. Yeah, that's Cali. Yeah, I'm expecting good weather. Actually, it's been really good weather for the last I think 2 weeks now. It's been nice. We had like a 2 week nasty period. So anyway, let's get back to this. This is more important. So do you guys see the problem here? Do you see this problem? Now, if we can get past this line, we got the 100 and the 200, but if we can get past this line, we officially break the downtrend. We are still in a downtrend till we break this line. As you could see why. I don't have to show you why. I just connect these dots. So it's very important for us over the next couple of weeks. Yes, trend line. That's right, Penny. Good morning, Ricky. Good to see you. It's very important for us to break this, and we're almost there. But here's the part here's the but. If and we're above the 50-day, and we're right at the VWAP right here, and I got to add a couple of more VWAPs to this thing. But we got to break this 90-36 level. If we don't break this level, we're just going to revert right back down. And then when you look at this 6 months down the road, you're going to say, "Oh, look, we just continued a downtrend." So we're not out of the danger zone yet. We're getting closer. I like how we're above the 50-day, and I like how we're above the VWAP. But we have this major resistance, and then we got these to overcome. But I'll be very honest with you. I think once we break this level, if the sentiment is good, it'll be easier for us to predict whether we'll go above the 200-day, because things really have to change for the bond market to get above the 200-day. If the bond market gets back above the 200-day, and again, there's going to be some fundamental news to drive that. It's not just going to be technical. But I think if the bond market can get above like the 93, 92 level, the Fed's going to start talking about reducing rates once again. Excuse me. Okay? Just so we're not out of. I like what I'm seeing. I'm cautiously optimistic here. But we have a gap. The gap may get filled. We're far away from the 8-day EMA. We have a deviated trend here if you just look at this trend right here. So my suggestion would be not to front run this, but to wait till we break this very nicely and this becomes support. Once this becomes support, it'll be fairly easy for me, I think, to gauge whether it's going to break out here. But right now, we're kind of in no man's land. Excuse me. My God, I don't know what's wrong with me this morning. Going above 90 level is going to lower my mortgage. That is correct. That is a beautiful way to express it right there, SJ, because that is 100% what it means. Yes, going above here will reduce your mortgage. Going down here will increase your mortgage. I think if I use that narrative, people will remember it really well. That's actually pretty smart. I like that. Ooh, look at that. We're over 515 minutes. Dr. Serena, remember I told you as the year progresses, We're going to, this is a part where people get more vested in the stock market. And then it cools off around July through September, but not election years. On election years, it cools off more towards August, September, and it heats up. Everything is pushed election year forward to the election. You guys might remember I said that several times. David says earnings pre-market, very nice. VKT down. Yeah, I'm worried about the chip stocks because of ARM and Qualcomm and SWKS. But honestly, the rest look okay. And so far, the market is, look at that. We just turned positive on the NASDAQ, actually. Well, wait till I get to the technicals. I got a lot to say today. Stay here and your mortgage will not be an issue. Oh boy, that's good. Thank you, HG. Okay, so please remember, this is, I know I'm spending a lot of time on it. I know. It's like, why are you spending so much time? Because this is really important, especially after Trump's administration clarified that they're focused on the long bond versus the short bond, which actually makes a hell of a lot of sense. Yes, I just said it makes a hell of a lot of sense. Okay. Did we take over Gaza yesterday, or did we change our mind about taking over Gaza? I don't pay attention. I look at his news like 5 days later because he changes his mind. So let me know if that's still in play or we're not. That's been sacked by Saudi Arabia. All right, U.S. dollar is in a channel right now. We have a channel between the U.S. dollar, which means the U.S. dollar will probably stay choppy for the foreseeable future. If the U.S. dollar drops below this line right here, okay, it'll be much easier for the bond market to get above this line right here. I'm not kidding. You want to see the U.S. dollar. The fact that we made a double high and the second high was lower than the first high, the fact that we came off to the second time and we're at the 50-day moving average means to me one of two things. We're probably going to come back up here and make another lower low, kind of like this. Oops, sorry. Kind of like this, and make a lower trend, or we're just going to consolidate between back and forth for a while. That's okay. That's okay. That means the U.S. dollar is changing the trajectory, and that may also mean that the U.S. dollar finally is starting to top out. If the U.S. dollar tops out, which would be absolutely freaking fantastic right now, it would help the bond market go higher. And it would create more upside for the gold market because there's an inverse relationship between U.S. dollar and gold, and it would cause the gold market to rally. I think even if the U.S. dollar does not drop, but even as long as it doesn't go up, as long as it doesn't go up, I believe there's going to be fairly good moves in gold and other commodities that are not subject to inflation. But crude oil is moving down for a completely different reason. Crude oil is moving down fundamentally because we're expecting to make more of it here in the U.S., and Trump is very friendly towards oil policy, which is a great thing. White House, so much flack, walking back Gaza. Trump said White House press secretary walked it back. Trump and Biden made a deal to rebuild Gaza in a press conference. Yeah, not Biden. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't watch any of it. I just tuned in this morning just to see what happened, and they said he's taking over Gaza, and then they said he's not. So I really don't know what happened. I don't watch mainstream news for obvious reasons. Again, catch Graham's replay today at 11 a.m. Here's the link, and you guys should be able to see my links that I'm posting. Here's my VIP room link. Today, we're going to talk about some very interesting educational topics. I've been trying to give you a lot of education. I've been trying to give you a lot of education in the pit every day, or at least 20 minutes education in the pit, because I think it's important for you guys to have a good background of why we're doing what we're doing. So here's a link for Customer Service Live. And just to tell you what it is that I'm doing in the pit today, I'm going to be talking about ADR stocks and why we need to avoid them right now more than ever. And folks, this will help you. This will prevent you. I had a friend who had a bunch of these ADR stocks in his portfolio. When I saw it, I had like chills going down my spine. And I'm going to explain to you why fundamentally keeping these ADR stocks in your account could be a really bad idea. I'll talk about that at in the VIP room today. Okay. So spokeswoman said it was just Trump's thoughts. Okay. Congratulations, Scott. That's big. 54 years. My goodness. Good for you. Good for you. That's huge. Huge, huge, huge. All right, China. China gapped up the other day. Now it's kind of in this range. It's respecting the 8-day EMA. I don't trust this market. I don't believe in this market. I think we're going to huff and puff around this area, this 33 area, and we're going to come back down. I will tell you this. Nothing is really tracking this right now, and nothing's really following this. So in the last couple of weeks, there's been a lot more I don't want to say negative thoughts towards China, but skeptical, more skepticism, not negative, but more skepticism about what they're producing, what they're doing, less of a core. Oh, my dogs are going crazy again. I am so sorry if any of you can hear that. I apologize. It's like somebody giving me a root canal early in the morning, you know? Do you guys hear that at all? Oh, ouch. I hope not. I hope not. All right. Let's now put everything together. And I want to talk about, I have a lot to talk about the stock market today. So I want to get this going. Stop, please, for everybody's sake. Stop. You guys can't hear them? I could barely hear myself talk. It's so damn loud. All right. New round of U.S. economic data remarks from federal officials and earnings reports from Amazon is on the docket right now. Okay, they just stopped. Thank God. I could hear myself talk again. It's like being at a rock concert when I hear them yell. But they're downstairs and this mic is really good, so I'm very lucky. I have a team come in and sound. It's already Ralph. It's already been sound dampened. That's after sound dampening. This is a soundproof room. The door. Look at the door. It's got 4 hinges. I had it soundproofed. This room is soundproofed. And it's awful, even with the soundproofing. But it has been soundproofed. That's the only reason I could use this kind of mic. If it wasn't soundproofed, I'd have to use a dynamic mic. Headphones. Yeah, Dave. You know what? That is not a bad idea. Yeah, that's actually a pretty darn good idea, Dave. I should consider headphones in the morning. That's a good idea, actually. Now, yesterday's session, Johnson Control surged 11%, top gainer. Completely missed the stock yesterday. Didn't see it on my radar, like it didn't happen. Completely off base yesterday. Chip stocks gained ground. Look, after the benchmark, the 10-year, they're talking about the long bond. Anytime they're talking about the 10-year, that just means long bond. Remember what I told you, 5-year, 10-year, 20-year, 30-year, they move exactly the same. I mean, they literally move 99%. So when you hear 10-year bond, that's this bond. That's the long bond. Anything beyond 2 years moves with a correlation degree of about 99%. Most of you already know that, but just don't get confused. If you're saying like, well, Roger, how come you're not showing the 10-year? I am. The TLT, see 20-year plus, anything over 2 years is 5-year, 10-year, 20-year, 30-year. They move identically, so you have nothing to worry about there. I got you covered. See, yield fell to a 7-year low. That pushes semiconductors. There's a very strong inverse relationship. So the more upside we get from the bond market, the more upside we will get from the chip stocks. Okay, as you can see right here, the clear correlation. Marvell advanced. We took a nice profit. Who took a nice 50% profit or something like that on AVGO yesterday and gap to green? I ask you. Who took a nice profit and gap to green yesterday on AVGO? Nvidia rose. Amgen advanced more than 6%. Alphabet slumped 7%, but the market stayed pretty, okay. Didn't do too bad. And by the way, yesterday, remember yesterday morning when we were here, the market was down pretty hard, and I said, guys, I'll be honest with you. I'm not seeing that much downside. I was liking what I was seeing on the bonds. I was liking what I was seeing on some of the chip stocks. I did not see a down market yesterday. So let's see if that Oh, good, HG. I'm glad you did that. Let's see what I feel after today. Let's look at everything. AMD, somebody said yesterday, Bruce, no buying AMD. We want to sell AMD, not buy AMD. Good, 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 good. I'm like happy to hear that. ADP came out yesterday. That's this report right here. That's this report here, which reflects on Friday's employment report, which I have here. You can't see it, but it's on the upper right. You could see it right here. That's coming out on Friday and holding a few more contracts. Good for you, Vivek. Good for you. Good for you. That's okay, Terry. It happens. It happens. But that's going to reflect on the employment. Today we have jobless claims and we have Fed speakers. Can't wait to hear what they have to say. I love hearing what they have to say because it's just such monkey. It's like watching SNL. It's entertaining. AMD did not do well. That's chip stocks are not in the best place possible. They're not leading right now. They're lagging. When chip stocks lag, that's bad because because chip stocks are very interest rate sensitive, as you could see right here. All right. We had some news yesterday. I'm not going to go through all of this because it was completely irrelevant to it. Hey, guys, how about some thumbs up? How about some thumbs up for us? We got 438. We got 400 something people here. Let's see how many thumbs up we got. The thumbs up help us get more traction. So we got 166 thumbs up. I'll give myself a thumbs up. There we go. We have now 167. All right, this is the part I love to read. This is my favorite part. If I could read this all morning, I would. This is like the Sunday funnies for me. ISM did okay. This data is not big. The big data that we have to pay attention to is going to be the employment report tomorrow and consumer sentiment, which will take the wind. The employment will take out. But this is going to be the big report. This is going to be the big mover tomorrow. Okay. All right. Now we got 526. This thing looks like it's broken. It's going between 400, 500. It's all over the place. Barkin stated Wednesday that policymakers require more time to assess the trajectory of the U.S. economy and inflation amid heightened uncertainty over President Trump's policy. That's the second time they're throwing him under the bus, reinforcing expectations for rates to remain unchanged. Do you guys remember what I told you? I told you that it's going to take a little time, and then they're going to start throwing him under the bus. They're going to start blaming it on him. Well, guess what? Remember what Powell said. We don't know what Trump is going to do. And I'm going to tell you something else. So far, everything Trump has done, we've been talking about since December. So they're literally just throwing him under the bus. No, I'm going to tell you guys something. The reason you require more time to assess the trajectory is because your asses made a mistake and started lowering rates before the time to lower rates was due. It had nothing to do with President Trump. President Trump's responsible for a lot of things, which I don't like, but this is not one of them. So this is the second time since remember earlier in the week, they started throwing him under the bus? They weren't throwing him under the bus till this week, but now they're throwing him under the bus. Well, you didn't know that President Trump was going to take office? In December? Yeah, you did. He won already. You remember Trump said, don't mess with interest rates. But what did they do? They messed with interest rates. And now what are they doing? They're throwing him under the bus. Didn't I tell you this was going to start happening pretty soon? First, it was we want to wait. We don't know what's going to happen. Well, let me ask you guys, what did President Trump do that he promised not to do in December? We already talked about we've been talking about these tariffs for months now. Right? No, you're right, Jeff. Didn't move. So this is bullshit. Now, we can blame President Trump for many, many things. This is not one of them. This has nothing to do with him. This has to do with these knuckleheads trying to front run interest rates before Trump got into the office. It was a big mistake. It backfired, but don't blame him for it. He had nothing to do with your stupidity. You know what I hate? I hate when people blame others for something. I hate it. I don't like when people don't take responsibility for their own action. This to me is bullshit. Okay? Bullshit. And by the way, I'm not going to be soft on Trump. You guys know that. If Trump does something, I'm not going to hold back. But he had nothing to do with this. This is these scumbags doing this and then blaming somebody. His policies, uncertainties. Did you think his policies were going to have certainties a month and a half ago? Has Trump done one thing that we did not expect him to do? Nothing. He's been talking up all these executive orders for months now. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Sorry. So I'm getting all worked up over this again. Jefferson said he's comfortable keeping interest rates on hold until policymakers make a clear understanding of the overall impact of the Trump administration. What tariffs? Is there anything here that's news to us? Immigration? Is there anything here that's news to us? Direct? Is there anything here that we did not know in December? December was like 8 weeks ago, folks. Just stupidity. Do you remember? Please, 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 guys, don't lower rates. Please don't lower rates. You're too early. You got to wait 2 more quarters. What does that have to do with President Trump? Morons. Morons. 85% chance there's not going to be a rate change. 150% chance there's not going to be any rate changes. Press Secretary Bassent said Wednesday that the Trump administration primarily focuses lowering borrowing costs on the 10-year Treasury yield rather than the Fed's benchmark. Now, that's very smart. That's something that I wish they clarified a few weeks back when he said, I demand interest rates are lowered. Because when people talk about interest, remember, you can't control the long bond. You can only control the short-term bond. So what he said has a very different meaning than what he was saying. What he's saying is we need to change. What he's really meant was we really need to change the sentiment in the country so that the long-term bond can start moving. What he was interpreted as saying was we need to mess with the short-term bond. So this is actually a very good clarification, and this actually makes a lot more sense. And in a practical way, it makes a lot more sense too, because the truth of the matter is people don't care as much how much yield they're getting in the bank compared to what they're paying on their mortgage and what they're paying on their credit card debt. And I think everybody here, unless you're independently wealthy, I think most people here would say that's absolutely true. So this is good that they clarified that. I appreciate that, and that makes a lot of sense. And the 10-year has been going. It's working. It's working so far. I don't know if it's Trump or not, but it's moving in the right direction as long as that's why I spent so much time talking about this level here, because this is kind of like a make it or a break it level. Please relax. You're getting your blood pressure up. I'm just very into this crazy about pets. I like this. The Fed said inflation is transitory. They need to accept they are previously government overspending caused inflation. I don't want to get into blame game. I just know that Trump had nothing to do with the Fed lowering rates twice already. Twice. And now they're blaming him for it. It blows my mind away, okay? It just blows my mind away. This, my friends, if you don't believe in political pressure, political bullshit, this right here says it all. Fourth quarter earnings season is going to continue with Amazon, consumer discretionary, and tech. Is it consumer discretionary? Is it tech? We can have an argument till I'm 100 and we won't be able to answer that question. Lilly, Philip Morris, this is important right now because I think people have started smoking a little more. Honeywell, BMY, and Fortinet. I'm looking at Fortinet and I'm looking at TTWO because I really follow these stocks quite a bit. Curious to see how they're going to do. I will have a earnings analysis today. I think that they updated Zach, so I'll be able to give it to you today. I want to wait till there's something to talk about, actually. I will only talk about what they've done, not what they think they should do from now on. There you go. There you go. The yield curve, not the short-term rates, just how they are positioned relative to long bond. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're all pretty much saying the same thing. Oh, let me give you guys some links. Graham's going on at 11 a.m. I'm going on at noon. Lance will be in customer service live today. And let me get you the Cam and Gustavo show link. You don't want to miss that. That's one of the coolest things we got going on here. The only thing I wish I could do, Cam, is give them access to our private channel. That would be something. What's going on with my, something's going on with my Slack. Oh, here we go. Copy link. Here it is. We'll take a look at that, all of that in a second when we look at stocks. Meanwhile, stocks are we don't have a lot of discrepancy here. Let's look at the employment report. Well, what a big surprise, right? I think so, John. I think so too. Do you guys see that? Remember what I said? Low 200s every time. Watch, they're going to make a deal about this, like it's a big or a small number. It basically has not changed in a year. Okay, so there's no news on the employment report today. Okay, let's continue. The initial jobless claim came in as a nothing burger. Europe is up nicely. We got a little tailwind from Europe. This is important for US right now. Investors digested a slew of corporate earnings reports, weighted monetary policy decision from Bank of England. Mining and healthcare stocks led the gains on Thursday. That's good. It's good. We're moving out of tech advancing, which is good. When tech advances, it tends to be a narrow rally. When you have healthcare, it tends to be more of a defensive broad market blue chip rally. And I'll talk about that in a minute. As if it came out of a can. Exactly. And that's how it's been. That's why I don't make a big deal out of it, because it doesn't move. It hasn't moved. And China closed at a 1 month high because of this rally was driven by strong gains, AI related stocks, Chinese startup Deep Doodoo breakthrough. I don't believe any of this crap. But the fact that US Postal Service reversed its earlier decision is huge. I would feel very sorry for Amazon if they did not. I would feel very sorry for UPS. It would be very bad. And I don't know why they would have to do this right now. I mean, we're not that far along in the war. William says Cam has helped me a lot. Very helpful. Folks, since Cam has started doing customer service live, my job has gotten probably twice as easy. Japan's closed higher, and Matt too. Especially Matt. Overnight gains on Wall Street, worried over trade tension. U.S. and its trading partners eased. Electronics and brokerage stocks led the gains on Thursday. That's good. We got tailwind from China. We got tailwind from Europe, and we have tailwind from Japan. And news has not been as impactful last few days as it was before. Remember, I told you all this stuff. I'm telling you guys, and I'm not really talking, this is not a political discussion, but like Trump takes office, all this new stuff has to get priced in, price discovery, and it's going to be like this. Look. And then we just kind of move on. So that's why I think a quarter or two from now, things will start moving in the right direction. What I don't like is this. I don't like that ARM is down. I don't like that Qualcomm is down. These are our influential chip stocks, and we need chip stocks. There you go. Richard, good morning. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good morning. Down 3%, down 4%. That's quite a bit. Ford down 5%. By the way, I know that you guys don't believe me, but trust me on this. There's a huge correlation between auto stocks and Tesla. Everybody seems to think that Tesla is very correlated to EV stocks, but they're not. They're actually very correlated to car stocks. They are. Trust me. I'll even show you a demonstration in the VIP room today. I was surprised, but there was a site that I have that I'm using for correlation, and I find that they're very correlated. So this could be not so nice for Tesla. Okay, that's the only reason why I'm bringing this up. Thanks for that, Alexander. Hey, RJ, good to see you. Good to see you there. It was where it was 2 days ago. Good. But and again, I'm not specifically talking about these stocks. I'm talking about their sentiment toward chip stocks. As you know, chips have very, very high correlation with each other. They're like consumer staples. Notice all consumer staples have been going down last week. Hershey's, Mandela's, all same thing with chip stocks. They're very, very correlated. So this is the red flag. These are the three red flags today that we may see some downside on Tesla, which has big market cap. We may see downside on chip stocks. If chip stocks are not soft today, that's going to take the vulnerability that I'm expecting today, my only vulnerability, out of the market, which would make me pretty darn bullish. Okay. So if this doesn't react on semiconductors, if semiconductors can shrug this off, and there's a good chance they could because bond market is fairly firm, but if they can shrug this off, if chip stocks can shrug this off, we could see some upside. I want to see Tesla going higher, meaning it would shrug this off. And I want to see major chip stocks like SMH and NVIDIA shrug this off today. That's really what I'm going to be looking at this morning, okay? Whether chip stocks can shrug this sentiment off and whether Tesla can shrug this off. Blue chips, Dow stocks, I'm pretty bullish on, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Now, this is something that news is not talking about right now, but notice I highlighted it because this is very, very important. Remember I told you there's a company called Quervo, Qrvo. They make chips for the iPad. If Quervo stock goes down, it can reflect negatively on Apple. Well, here's excuse me, here's another company, Skyworks Solution. They plummeted 30% after semiconductor said that it anticipates 20 to 25% reduction in its share business due to Apple. So when components of Apple are looking bad, it reflects negatively on Apple. And it's a semiconductor company. So what I want to see today, and this is important, and I really want to see this during the first hour of the day. Come the counter. Yeah, I think the counter's broken. It seems to be going up 100. I noticed that too, Dr. Serena. It goes up and down 100 every minute. It's like the weirdest thing. But I think something's broken with this counter because we had a 590 a minute ago. Now we have 490. It's the weirdest, oddest thing in the world. But let this be the biggest problem in my life, Dr. Serena, as my mom always says. Let this be the biggest problem in my life. So we're going to be watching semiconductors very closely today. The first hour of the day, we're going to be watching Apple very closely the first hour of the day, and we're going to be watching chip stocks the first hour of the day. Very, very, very important, okay? You're going to keep your eye on volatility. Volatility has been going straight down. We're now at a weight, we're now below, we broke that 16 level. We're now at the the market can go higher from here. We're below 16. The next level is 15, and this usually happens when the market gets ready to make all-time highs. All-time highs. Speaking of the market, let's look at the market. Russell 2000. Look, interest rates are going down, down. Bonds are going up, interest rates are going down. What are the Russell doing? The Russell's breaking the 50-day moving average. Folks, this is the first time that the Russell is breaking the 200-day moving moving the 50-day moving average since the 18th of December. That's a pretty good consolidation here. Look at that. That's a nice consolidation here. The question is this going to break it or is it going to be a false breakout? If this breaks it, we're going to have some tailwind in the market. And so far, it's looking great. It just has to clear this area right here, which it did. You see that? This VWAP right here. It's already above that VWAP right here. It's already above the VWAP right here. All it has to do is continue going higher. If it does, we have strength in small cap stocks, which would be very, very important. Okay? Number one. Number two, what about this? Are you guys finding this beneficial? Are you guys finding this beneficial? Let me know if you guys are finding this beneficial. All right. S&P 500. S&P 500 is above the 8-day. We closed above the 8-day and we're opening above the 8-day. The next level of resistance on the SPY is right here. Sorry. It's like 610. Right around the 610 level. So we have all the way from here, from 604 to about 610 without anything really disturbing us. Oh, wow. A lot of light. I totally forgot about my question. People are happy here. I love it. Very beneficial. You're right. I am wrong. Notes. Would miss it. Yes, every day. Good. Thank you. Now, look at that. We're now back to 550. We're at 449 now at 550. All right, good, 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 good. Makes me very happy. Very, very happy. We had 600, almost 700 people yesterday. So I am still pretty bullish. I like this. I like this. I'm not saying we have full clearance, but we do have clearance till the 610 level. So if we don't break the 8-day EMA today, let me just do a close up. If we don't break this, we'll probably come down and test it a little bit. But if we find support here, if we go to the 8-day, switch to intraday and start looking to see if there's support here, I'm pretty sure Richard is writing this right now as I'm saying. We may make a higher high here by breaking down a little bit, like maybe down to here. That wouldn't break the 8-day. That would just means we're touching it. But as long as we stay in this area and don't really break it and then go higher, we can go to about 610 without any problem. And that would bring us pretty close to an all-time high. Okay. Alexander says RSCT experienced high level of volatility. Numbers of people watching morning show. Now back to weather. Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's it. That's funny. That's funny, Alexander. Hold on one second. A little. There we go. See a little hello from me. Yeah, possibly, but we need to see what happens. I want to see what happens when price gets to the 8-day EMA here. But I like what I'm seeing. So far, I like what I'm seeing on the Russell 2000. You're welcome, William. Good, good. I like what I'm seeing on the Russell 2000 as long as we don't come right back into this channel. I like what I'm seeing on the SPY, at least for the time being. I don't think we have like a huge runaway here, but we have some room left. Let's look at QQQ. QQQ looks like it can go up to about 531. Again, we have a delicate balance here because look, we're kind of above this area, but we're sort of not. So as long as we make a higher high and don't see how we're making higher highs here, as long as we continue making higher highs here, we're okay. Again, I'm not expecting a huge breakout, but I think we can come and test this 531.47 area pretty easily. At least for now, that's what it looks like to me. Better than God morning American NEC talks about in the morning. With that said, do you think SPY is a buy at this price? That's what I'm saying. I think that I think it is, and I'll show you another reason why. Look at the Dow. Look at the Dow Jones. Look at where we're at right now. So I don't see I'm not really seeing anything that bearish right now. I'm not. And I'd love to tell you that I am. Now, am I overly bullish? Do I think the market's going to run away? Do I think we're going to join the circus? No, no, no. No, nothing like that. I'm cautiously optimistic right now, especially with where we're at right now. I want to see the first hour of the day. I want to see price. What I want to see is this. See, we're not going to have a big gap today, which means the market's going to be able to show us its strength naturally without overnight markets taking us anywhere. That's really good. Why? Let me explain. Because this is let me answer your question indirectly. Let's say we have a big gap and we open up right here and then we just go straight down. That's not going to happen today. We don't have anything really driving us. So the market is going to kind of naturally either lift or not. So this morning, we'll know probably after the first hour if we are still maintaining that strength. And if we are, I think institutions are going to come in. If the first hour, Tesla's down, semiconductors are down, Apple's down, then we're just going to come in and that'll be the high and we'll just make a smaller high, but this will be the high. And I want this to be the low, not the high. And we're not going to know that for the first half hour, 45 minutes today. But in principle, I'm okay. Am I on a scale of 1 to 10? How bullish am I? 5.5, 6. Kind of slightly bullish, but I'm not bearish. I'm not bearish. And I wasn't bearish yesterday. And even when the market opened down yesterday, I told you guys that I'm not bearish. And not because of any special reason, just because of what we're doing together here. So let's look at RSP. RSP is doing a great job of coming back out of this mess back here. But look how much resistance you have here. So you see, the mega caps really have to do a lot of work because the RSP is just starting to come out of its shell. So we really, really have to see mags like Tesla today and Apple. We need to see them show their hand because look at mega caps. If mega cap, let me do something here. Let me take this off right here. Okay, perfect. I took that ugly blue indicator, the moving average, which is just right here. You see how we're in this channel right here? We need to start breaking out of this channel because if we can't break out of this channel, then the RSP will just come right back here and the SPY will just top out right here and we'll start going down. So I want to see if after the first hour today, we're going to get a little upside or if the first hour is all we have. And then if that's the case, you're just going to go straight down and make a lower high and it'll still be an upward trend, but the high will be done during the first hour. So I want to make sure that the high today is not accomplished in the first hour of the day, because if it is, and if the market just starts going down after the first hour, it'll still be not a bad day potentially, but we're not going to get anywhere. So what I want to see is I want to see Apple, Tesla, and this is what you want to see today. I'm giving you marching orders. You want after the first half hour to an hour of the day, you want to see semiconductors, you want to see Apple, and you want Tesla sizzle. If they're not sizzling after the first hour of the day, then ask yourself, what is going to drive us? Excuse me, my throat. What is going to drive us beyond this level? What is going to drive mags beyond this level? Now, what I'm doing right now is I'm literally like, this is like an X-ray. I'm giving you like all the different pieces of the puzzle so you can understand it from a dynamic perspective. Now, let me look at semiconductors right now. See, this is a problem right here. We know that semiconductors have bad news. We know that they were slightly open, lower. So we know they're not going to give us tailwind at the open. If you're not seeing tailwind from them after the first hour, how is the market going to be driven higher? What is going to cause tech to be driven higher? You have Amazon earnings. It's a lot of uncertainty. Look at how much you have above us right here. It's so hard for me to you've got the 100-day moving average, you got the 50-day moving average, you got a VWAP, you got another VWAP, another VWAP, and the 8-day. You have one, two, three, four, five, six resistance, six areas of resistance here. So there's two ways this game is going to go today. And I would not have known that without doing the research I just did for myself. We're going to open up fairly flat, which is very, very good because we'll see the market doing its own thing. There's going to be two tricks to watch for today. The market's either going to open up and just kind of fizzle out and not do anything. But today is a Thursday. And we've been having higher volatility. Or the market will open up kind of flat and start upticking after the first hour. I want to see it uptick after the first hour. I want to see Apple, Tesla, and semiconductors uptick after the first hour. If you don't see them upticking the first hour, then that's probably going to be the high of the day. Do you guys understand what I just said? Here's the SPY chart. Do you guys understand what I just said? I hope so. I hope so. All right. So we want to make sure that this is near the low of the day and not the high of the day. More likely than not, here's what's going to happen. 5-minute chart. Let me just use the daily chart. It's easier. More likely than not, we're going to huff and puff around here, and then the market's going to slowly start coming down. And then throughout the day, we'll see if we have firepower to come back up. But this is a very, very important point, and I want to know if this is going to sustain itself or it's going to come up. Based on everything we know, the odds are it's going to open right here, come down up to here, and then start coming back up again, which means you're not going to have too much activity during the day. So we want to see semiconductors, Apple and Tesla breaking out and being strong after the first half hour to an hour of the day. Okay, let me now give you my stocks. A lot of stocks to look at today. A lot of stocks to look at today. First of all, the banking stocks like Morgan Stanley, BK, Morgan Stanley, BK, all have A lines. BK and COF all have perfect A lines. Look, beautiful A lines on all three of them. I just gave you three A lines. Are they related to each other? You better believe it. Are you going to buy all three of them? Nah, you're probably just going to buy one. Or put 33 shares in each one and you have 100 shares of make yourself a little hedge fund. So I gave you three A lines this morning. Didn't charge you anything. Zillow Group, beautiful breakout. Remember, I am not screening for earnings here. I am not screening for earnings because some of you trade earnings. I don't know why, but some of you do. MPLX, HWM. I think this stock had earnings or is coming out with earnings. Again, I'm not screening for earnings, but I love this stock. It looks so nice. Cisco. All right. Martin, not that much on RSP. I'm telling you right now, Tesla, Apple, chip stocks. I'm telling you that's where the money is right now. That's what you need to focus on right now in terms of gauging market because that's what's in play right now. Hood, I cheated on you and got into this stock without all of you and took profit on it. I apologize, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Shopify is looking good. The fact that these stocks are looking good is very good. JP Morgan is looking good. That's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful right there. Netflix. Now, fundamentally, I can't stand this stock, even though I love watching it, but technically it's looking good. See, this could be a high right here, and we can just come right back down, and this would still be considered an upward trend. That's what I'm saying. Be careful of this morning. Be careful of the morning. And yeah, I'm doing longs today. I don't know why, but I'm doing longs today. I just started with longs, so I'm just going to continue with longs. Cloudflare. Be careful. Wait for a pullback here. It's a little too strong for its own good. Vic. I don't know how optionable this stock will be. One second. Okay. This stock looks very nice right now. MasterCard and Visa are both moving. I like the financial stocks. I like the tech financials right now. I like Visa. The fact that financial stocks are moving is a very good sign for the market. Markets can't make all-time highs without financials participating, especially the Dow Jones. Nice trend still. But I like the MSBK COF better. I like those better. DXCM. I think this is the first time the stock is on my list in quite some time. Not yet. We got to break the 200. We're not there yet. Almost. Nice looking trend, but we got to break the 200. I said BKCOF and Morgan Stanley. Only one to a customer. They're all doing the same thing. So if you want all three, just buy a third. Like if you're going to buy three contracts, just buy one of each. You know, you could do that. That's fun. I do that all the time. Like that's just how I entertain myself. But they're going to move together. They're all going to move together. Trust me on this. Lockheed Martin's breaking down. I guess Middle East is winding down, or so we think it is. TXT, AES. Oh, I'm going to be late for work today. You see what you guys are making me do? I'm going to be late for work today. This stock looks beautiful. Beautiful trending stock. Ball. I think Angie made a killing on Ball. Tell me if I'm wrong, Angie. It's a nice breakdown. BG, Aflac. I don't know. I haven't looked at Aflac. Oh, BG looks beautiful. Let me look at Aflac. I just like saying Aflac. Aflac. No. No, 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 no. No Aflac. You need to watch my training video on how to pick stocks if you think Aflac is ready to go. Ooh, look at that beauty. Look, I want to ask you guys a question. If you had to bet which way OLN was going to go versus Aflac, where do you think you have better directional bias? Look, here's Aflac. If I was to ask 100 people about Aflac, if I was to ask 100 people about Aflac, and if I was to ask 100 people versus BG, for example, think about that. What stock do you think people would stay in right now or not know what to do with? Do you think any institution would want to buy this stock right now? No. FLNC. Try to find stocks that have directional bias. You know, it blows my mind away. You know, you go on a car lot, you're offered a $100,000 car and a $20,000 car, and the majority of people pick the $20,000 car when it's given for free. The stocks that I'm giving you have a much higher odds of going down than Aflac because they're already going down. Look at this, has to break the 200. But look, no pullback. No pullback. MKTX. Don't make life difficult for yourself. Try to make life easy for yourself. Which way is the stock going? I can probably count on one hand how many updates the stock has had in the last 3 months. ST. Last one. That's it. Look at this stock. How many updates has this stock had in the last 4 months? Why do you want to make a bet where you have 80% chance of it going against you versus 20% chance of it going against you, even if you're wrong? Answer me that question. When the market rallied, how many times had this stock gone up? How does this stock respect the 8-day EMA? These are the questions you should be asking yourself. Look at every time it goes to the 50, how well it respects it. Can you remind us where your anchored VWAPs are? Travis, yes, I'll show you. On the indexes, on the stocks, you want to use earnings dates. On stocks, you want to use the election date. You want to use quadruple witching date. You want to use the first of the quarter and first of the year, unless first of the quarter and first of the year are the same. You know what? A lot of people have been talking about CrowdStrike. Let me look at it. Oh, my dogs are going crazy again. A little overextended. I'd like it right here better, or I'd like it right here better. But if you can get it around here, not such a bad deal. I got to get out of here, but I'll do one more. FSLR. Let me do one more. These stocks trend really well. Oh yeah. Below 161, below 160, below 162. All right, guys, let me give you the links one more time, and then I'll give you the play-by-play for today. Everybody wants the play-by-play. So what I'm going to be looking at today, this morning, is I'm going to be looking at the relationship. I'm going to be looking at how the semiconductor sector and how Apple and Tesla behave after the first hour of the day. I'm going to be looking at, hey, Angie, I'm going to be looking at how close this comes down before it starts finding real strong support. Because this may be a high today, and then we can just make a high, come down, and it'll still be a high. So I'm very concerned that this is the high on the day. And we won't know for the first hour if that's the case. But the fact that we're opening high, see now NASDAQ is back down. We're going to open flat. So we're going to get a chance to see, don't trade the first half hour to an hour today. Don't be in a hurry and keep your eye on semiconductors, Tesla, and Apple. They are going to guide us today. Also, keep your eye on financials. Financials are getting stronger and stronger, which is because of the bond market. And keep your eye on the bond market because the bond market is strong. And if the bond market's going to keep going up, that's going to lift stocks. Remember, there's a huge correlation between the bond market, 75%, 74% correlation right now with the long bond. So we need this to go up. This will push stocks higher. I will see you guys later. Have a great day. And if you have a question, not customer service, please send me an email. Thank you for making this a wonderful session, not getting me all worked up. And I'll see you guys at noon for the VIP room, where I'll be talking about earnings and ADR stocks and why you need to avoid them like a plague. Bye, guys. Have a great day, everybody. Good luck today. Hope everybody makes some money.